Hello and welcome to Talking on the Couch, the weekly podcast where we talk absolute rubbish about random things that we've found from around the world. This week we are talking about viruses and the weird stuff that they actually do to you. Definitely not in relation to that. What's it called? The hantavirus, is it? That's on the ship,
Yeah,
the
the
cruise ship.
Hama virus, the
I can't remember what it was. A hamster. I can't
hamster
remember what it's
virus.
called.
Oh, you
Yeah.
know what we should have done, Lance? We should have had this podcast on the yacht tonight.
Oh, that would have been good. Yeah.
Damn
Uh,
it.
we can still quickly go to the yacht.
Nah, we just do it here. It's
Okay,
fine.
cool.
We
We
might
do
not
have a
get
yacht.
off the yacht.
Yeah, but
We
there's
might
not
not
really
get off the
anywhere.
yacht.
I haven't really
We'd have to
checked out the yacht very well, so I don't know what we can have and what we can't have in the
we'd
background.
have to do the hot tub, and that's just nobody wants to see that.
No, because then we can't have our costumes, can we? Plus, you've got actually, apparently, girls like scars. Apparently, I mean, that's probably why Mary's married to me because I got a shit ton of them.
Because you're a fucking scar on
Yeah, I
society.
am. I'm just a walking scar. That's all I am. I've got one on my eye. There's one on my back through when I had spinal surgery. There's one on my knees. There's one on my chest. There's one on my finger. There's one on my stomach. There's a couple on my actual thigh. There's a couple on my leg. There's one on my foot. There's two on my wrists. Not through what you're thinking of. There's a couple on
Hmm.
my I've got scars all over the place. Anyway, right. Remember to check out our other channels. So we've got the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitch, the TikTok, the Twitter, the Discord at discord.gg/TGS390NUB3. We got the YouTuber, we got the Blue Sky. And remember, you can listen to this podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, and Amazon Music, whichever, or YouTube, whichever one of those you like to listen to your podcast to. Remember to leave a little thumbs up, a little comment, a little like review. Tell us what we're doing right. Tell us what we're doing wrong. Um, there will be people talking during this podcast apparently on the chat screen, so sometimes I may zone out a little bit. I don't know what
Hmm.
a social source is. It sounds like something that's very anti-autistic.
Of what?
That if there was one dinosaur that wouldn't be autistic, it's a social source. That's yep. I can say that because I am autistic. Yay! Uh, yay for
Yay, he
social
loves
awkwardness.
painting.
Right, this week's podcast is viruses. Sporka, would you like to start us off?
Okay, I'm going to start us off with the Andes strain of hantavirus.
Okay.
It's a different one from the one that's now here. So it's a rare strain of hantavirus that is known to spread between humans, causing severe respiratory failure, and it's approximately 40% fatality rate.
You know, okay.
Yep.
Why have we not heard of this one before? I'm really glad you found
No,
funny ones, Sporka. I'm really happy that you
I thought it was funny that we hadn't heard of it.
Oh, good. So basically, there's a virus out there that's in relation to the one that's we're all terrified is going to cause another pandemic, and we've never heard of it. It's going to sneak up on us like a ninja and just screw us over, and you find it hilarious.
Yeah. Well, it could be rabies. Rabies is 99% fatal.
Basically, that's true actually. In our Twitch chat right now, we are talking about dinosaurs apparently, and Spook has named it the meteovirus.
Yeah, because it was the fucking meteor that it was like a virus that killed all the dinosaurs. It was
That's not even
100%
true.
fatal.
You know that's
It,
one of
it
the
is
biggest myths
loads.
we've ever been told.
Yeah, but we're talking about viruses, not about dinosaurs. We'll do
Right?
dinosaurs next
No, I'm going
week.
to clarify this now. What
Shit.
happened was basically the aliens
Oh,
chucked
okay.
chucked a
Oh, we're
no.
going aliens.
No, we've done aliens. No,
Did
a
not see
meteor
that
hit
one
the
coming.
earth, yes,
Yeah.
and it caused like massive tsunamis and global change and stuff.
Yeah.
However, it was because of all the shit that was thrown up into the air. It essentially surrounded the earth in like this blanket of dush. That's
Yeah.
dust and ash, dush, and
Hmm.
it blocked out the sunlight and caused a massive spike in carbon dioxide and things. So it essentially suffocated the dinosaurs. They still remained alive for quite a while afterwards. It's just they slowly died while the Earth came back to normal.
Yeah.
It wasn't the virus that
So was a
wasn't the
result of the meteor that all the dinosaurs died, Lance.
mm, I'd say
If
it's
the
more of
meteor
a
didn't hit the planet, all the dust and stuff wouldn't have gone into the air,
Yes,
so the
but
dinosaurs would have still been alive.
if the planet wasn't in the way of the meteor in the first place, so maybe it's the planet's fault that all the dinosaurs are dead. Planet shouldn't have gone away in the way of the meteor, should it? Yeah,
No, no, it shouldn't.
you
No,
didn't think of it like that, did you? No,
did not, did not.
no. You
That
see,
came
it's the
up when I
planet.
searched stupid and unusual viruses. By the way, that was
But what was your virus called again?
the Andes strain of hantavirus.
So it's a different strain of the virus that we already know about.
Yes,
But
there's many different strains of this virus apparently.
that's true in a lot of viruses. It's the same as a cold sore is just a strain of herpes. It's not.
Yeah.
It's just a different strain of herpes. I've just read what you wrote. Yeah, it's just a different strain of herpes. That's all it is. It's just on your face. The same as
Uh huh.
a wart is also a different strain of herpes. It's HPV. But yeah, just throw that out there for anyone who wants to learn random shit that no one cares about.
Yay.
Uh, and basically, it's really really dangerous. Is that?
Yes, yes, extremely
How's it?
dangerous.
How's it spread?
By humans.
Yeah, but like the one that was on the boat is generally spread by rodents and stuff, same as the plague.
Yeah.
So the one that was on that boat, that hantavirus, it's rabbit, not rabbit, like mice droppings and infected rodents and stuff, and
Yeah.
it can be spread on, and that's essentially what caused it. It's just a really rare virus. So how's this one spread on?
It spreads human to human.
Yeah, but so what? Through bodily contact, through
Just through
coughing,
touching, I
through
assume, because otherwise it would be airborne.
yeah, but it could be through touch, it could be through sneezing and stuff.
You know, Lance, I didn't really read too much into it because it sounded fucking horrible. Considering it's a respiratory illness, I'd imagine it's through sneezing and coughing and
I,
stuff.
yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I'm just
Well, I
gonna
could have
say
went with the Marburg virus. That's up to 90% fatal.
Brontosaurus. Um,
That's related to the Ebola virus and it causes hemorrhagic fever.
yeah. Well, hemorrhagic fever is actually really dangerous because it's where your blood clots. Anyway, right. Moving on from there, I just need to get my notes up. I'm glad you started us off with a nice light one there,
Yeah,
Sporka.
no worries. The rest of them are funny though.
I really hope they are. So I'm gonna go into the nerdy culture aspect
Ooh.
of your mum. Um, so did you know, Sporka? This little fact is in two parts. I'm gonna give you a random fact, and then I'm gonna give you the virus. So
Okay.
the random fact: the Pentagon has a training document called Conplan 888811. And it's a
Okay.
scenario that teaches junior military officers how to plan for the mass emergency of a zombie apocalypse.
Nice.
They actually teach their army how to deal with a zombie apocalypse.
Well, yeah. Why wouldn't they?
Mm, mm, do they do they know that zombies aren't actually a thing?
No, but it could be like a zombie-like behavior.
Treadmills around the house, obviously. That is a
There's a
brilliant. Yeah, just
thing.
put treadmills around. That would stop the zombies. Yeah,
No,
I
there's a
like that.
thing called Toxoplasma gondii or something or gondal.
Okay,
It's
explain.
it's a parasite
I know what
that
you're going to say. Yeah.
affects up to 30% of the world's population, and it's known to hijack the brain to make it more reckless.
Okay, no, that's half
This isn't
true.
the one. This isn't the one about the spiders. This is a different thing.
It's an ant. Um,
Yeah, whatever.
that
But it's still a different thing.
right in
Um.
humans, this virus doesn't exist. By the way.
Okay. So studies have linked it to an increased risk of car accidents, rage disorders, and even increased attractiveness to cats. So
It
all the
do,
French are infected.
it doesn't
None of
hijack
them listen
the
anyway.
brain. The one that I know what you're doing. You're confusing two different viruses here.
I am
Um,
literally reading the thing off the internet, Lance.
yeah, right. The one that I'm gonna. What did you say it was?
It's
What did you say it was called?
Toxoplasma gondii.
Okay, the actual yes, you've put two viruses together. The one this is my virus now. Trypanosoma brucei.
That's a different one.
Yep. this one is the one that you're kind of thinking of. So this causes a sleeping sickness, which can result in dementia, neurological dysfunction, which is where the brain comes in, and walking disturbances that make people appear zombie-like.
Yeah.
And because they forget to talk and stuff like that, so they basically stumble around and dribble and because
Hmm.
it essentially eats away at the brain, and it just turns everybody into a zombie.
Cool,
So
cool, 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 cool.
your one is the one that I'm pretty sure that's in ants, that parasite. I don't think it can survive in the human body because our body's a different temperature and stuff, and we've got too many antibodies and stuff to fight it off. You know, we should ask an actual doctor about this shit.
I don't know any doctors.
So yeah, my one is a parasite, and
Your mom's a parasite.
yeah, and it affects both humans and animals. And I'm just so it's a parasite, so it'd be yeah, it's fatal as well if it's left. Just looking to see if yours is a derivative of it. No, I
It's
can't.
Gondii.
Gondor.
Yeah. Toxoplasma gondii.
Yeah, so I'm literally just googling it. I know I have heard of it, but I don't think it can.
And this
Gondor.
research was done by the Wellcome Sanger Institute.
Toxoplasma. Because toxoplasma essentially is the blood, isn't it? It's toxic blood.
Yeah.
Found worldwide in virtually all members of the cat family are the. Okay, it's cats. It's
No,
cats that it affects.
no, there's an increased attractiveness to cats.
Yeah, it can affect everybody, but
Yeah.
cats are the only hosts that it can have.
Yeah, but why would that lead to an increase in risk of car accidents and rage disorders, Lance? Cats don't
And
drive.
humans, let's have a look. Usually causing. Oh no, it can affect humans, but it usually causes no symptoms,
Okay,
and
well,
it
that's not
remains
what studies
dormant.
have said.
It can cause severe. Right. The people it will affect is pregnant women and immunocompromised women. So basically, me and you.
I'm not a woman, Lance. I know it's 2026 and all, but like, fucking hell.
You're attracted to cats. Yeah. I'm sorry, I was reading the Twitch chat again. Who just said who's attracted to
Yeah.
cats? So it affects pregnant women and immunocompromised people, and it leads to brain and eye damage if left untreated.
So
So
maybe
that's
that's
where
what
your
happened
car
to you.
accidents would come up. But it doesn't hijack your brain; it just eats your brain. I think anything that's resting in your head would like damage your brain.
Yeah.
Because you keep turning this so fucking brutal, don't you? It was me talking about zombies, and then you've just moved on to bastard parasites just gobbling at your brain. Probably have a kicker. Uh, keep it light, Jesus. Right, moving on. Your next one, Sporka.
Yep. No, it's your. Oh, it's my next one. Yeah.
Just
So,
have you got this parasite in your brain today?
yeah, maybe. Okay, this one's called the mini virus.
I love this one. We
Mini.
both found this one on our own accord because I sent it to you and you were like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen it." Uh,
This is basically it's a virus that was so big that scientists mistook it for a bacteria, and it could be seen with a standard light microscope.
it
That's
was a
how
fat
like
bastard virus,
yeah, it was
basically.
giant virus.
Always going round to its mum's house
Yeah.
for dinner.
So basically, it just thought it was a bacteria for like a decade. It just acted. It had the same attributes as a bacteria.
Yeah. We had a joke about this on Discord actually, but I've got to be careful what I say right now
Yeah.
because we can't really name anybody.
No. It
But yeah.
basically it makes you sexist and makes you love your mom's cooking. Basically.
Yeah. Let's go with that.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah.
We should really come. I do. When I saw this virus, I did laugh a little bit
Yeah.
inside and outside, and I
I
showed it to
lol.
Mary.
All the kids will understand that reference.
Yeah. So what this virus actually does is it mimics microbes. It
Hmm.
so there's microbes everywhere. We know this. It's yeah, and it mimics them, and it can be. The brilliant thing about this is the mimivirus can be infected by the mimivirus.
Yeah.
It can actually infect itself. Like, I find that so stupid. I bet that's like people though. Actually, like we could
What the?
infect if you got a smaller person, could you put them inside of a person?
Well, didn't they like say like in like the Matrix? Do you remember Agent Smith said that humans are like a virus?
Which
I went
yeah,
on to explain how we have so many common attributes to viruses.
yeah. And for we joke about this just to point out why the mimivirus is currently it's suspected to cause pneumonia. So just to because it can cause fluid in the lungs, which then gets infected and turns into pneumonia. So it can be quite a serious. It's another respiratory one. It can be quite a serious disease, or virus, essentially. But it's just the fact it's a fat bastard one. It's a fat
Yep,
bastard virus that can be infected by itself. Does that mean that the Mimi virus can give itself pneumonia?
possibly.
I mean,
Does
that
it have
could be a
lungs?
thing.
Because that's one of the sort of primary sort of things that you need to get pneumonia.
Yeah. Just to clarify as well, it can cause pneumonia. Suspected. We haven't got enough case studies in order to say yes or no to it. There needs to be more research into it, and currently it's not known to be lethal in humans. I'm going to say, so it's generally harmless at the moment,
Yeah,
but it's the
because
other
it's
stuff.
too big to be like
I don't know,
harmful to
because
humans,
surely
I think.
then, if it's that big, the body would have trouble getting rid of it because we wouldn't be able to create a white blood cell big enough to deal with it.
No, because it wouldn't enter into your blood like that. It wouldn't attach to your blood cells
I
because it's
think it
too
would.
big. I don't think it would. I think it's bigger than a blood cell.
Uh, is the Mimi bigger than a blood cell? Let's have a look. No, the Mimi virus is not bigger than a human red blood cell.
Can it attach to a human red blood cell?
It's actually give me the measurements, but why would it want to attach to a?
Because that's how viruses infect you by attaching itself to your blood cells. It doesn't just float around in there. Like,
Is the Mimi? Bobby, can the Mimi virus attach itself to a blood cell? I'm guessing it can if it's smaller. But do you reckon there's just like a blood cell just going around going, fucking hell, I'm knackered? It's like I've doubled the weight. Yes, the virus can attach to and be internalized by human blood cells, specifically macrophages, though the process called phagocytosis. However, this interaction is different from its native infection process.
hmm,
Yeah, so it can attach and it can go round, but it can't replicate itself within human
okay, so
cells.
it's a pretty shit virus then, really, is what
It
you're saying.
basically causes itself to become extinct.
Yeah.
Loans is trying so hard to keep. I am not trying so hard to keep professional. Fuck you. I've never seen that on TV. God, 'cause so many notifications come through to the iPad. So it can attach, but what is its way to replicate? How does the? I mean, because I'm pretty sure that not all viruses need to attach itself and spread through that way. I'm gonna put reproduce because essentially that's what it is. Mimivirus reproduces through a complex in-house process with the cytoplasm of its host, typically the. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. Yeah, I can. Acanthamoeba.
Yeah,
Unlike
cool,
smaller
cool, yeah.
viruses that hijack the host nucleus, mimivirus creates a specialized viral factory in the cell cytoplasm to create new particles. So it can, in the cytoplasm of your blood, it can still reproduce. and it creates thousands at a time. Yeah, that's scary. Anyway, so your one was what now, Sporka?
So it was a Mimi virus. So it's basically a giant virus that's so large that scientists mistook it for a bacteria.
For anyone wondering, bacteria are generally bigger than viruses. Just so you know.
Yeah, like
Not everybody knows that. Well, bacteria is huge compared to virus infections. But right, this one, I love this one. Dengue fever, Spoker. Dengue fever.
what's dengue fever, Lance?
Dengue fever. So this dengue fever is quite. It's not a particularly rare virus, but this one is due to a case study. So the case study shows that a 17-year-old with dengue fever, because of the fever, got a small blood clot,
Okay,
and because of that, ended up with an 18-hour erection.
nice, nice.
That's. Do you reckon he made use of resources?
What age was he?
17.
Okay, yeah, probably.
He definitely made use of resources.
He went at it for the entire 18 hours.
The blood was coming out. And dengue fever, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know or anyone who hasn't been to the hotter parts of the world, it's a mosquito-borne viral infection causing high fever, severe headaches, rash, and muscular joint pain, common in tropical regions and transmitted by daytime biting. So it's a mosquito-borne virus. Most cases are only
Yay!
mild, but severe dengue can occur, requiring urgent medical care for symptoms like plasma leakage. Isn't that just bleeding?
Yeah, yeah.
Or severe bleeding? So, yeah, plasma leakage would just be bleeding. But yeah, this kid was walking around. I'm going to say kid. He's 17. Right? This almost adult. No, dengue, Deng something. Yeah, Dengue. So this dengue fever, and because of it, he ended up with a blood clot, and it caused him to have an 18-hour erection. Like, do you reckon he had a girlfriend?
Not after that, you didn't.
Oh, I reckon he did after that. I reckon there was a lot of people queuing up.
Yeah.
Like this kid can keep it up for 18 hours. Yeah, Tanga, yeah. This kid can keep it up for 18 hours. He's the talk of the town. Demo. um, yeah, of course, yeah. Like I reckon like Playboy and shit were messaging him
Probably, yeah.
like
Well,
18
probably not
hours.
Playboy.
Like the Viagra companies are sweating when they realize this kid's around because their pill is not needed.
No, it's not. Maybe
See,
that's how they developed it.
oh, it could be
Yeah.
mosquitoes. Mm. See,
Wasn't made in Ireland for a while.
I reckon there was people asking him how he did it, and I reckon there are people out there stupid enough to hear this story and go out and purposely try and get bit by a just Fred fucking chat again. Uh, Nothing beats a jet. Well, this kid beats it all the time. Um, People are stupid enough to go out and try and get bitten by a mosquito just to please their partners.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm just reading the chat. It's you need to keep talking to him. Just keep him occupied, Spoker. Damn it.
I don't know what's happening.
Do you not have Jet 2 in Ireland?
I've heard of them, obviously, because our neighbours have them, but like, no, we don't have Jet 2.
Okay, for anyone listening, the no, it's different. Yeah, for anyone listening, basically Jet2 are in England and they're a holiday company, and basically our Twitch chat right now is just talking about Jet2 holidays because of the kid that had an 18-hour erection. Like going on
Yeah.
holiday, nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And now they're talking about right now you can save £50 per person. That's £200 for a family of four. If you want to sponsor us, Jet2, for a free holiday, get in touch at pressbacktc@outlook.com. If we're going to promote this shit,
Yeah.
what was I saying? Oh yeah, people are stupid enough to go out and get bitten by a mosquito, aren't they? Just
Yeah,
uh,
they are.
one of them's going to be pulling it down his pants to see if they can get bitten, and you don't get commission. It's not your podcast. Um, but yeah, you know that's going to happen somewhere. Do you
Definitely.
reckon he? Do you reckon he went outside like after? I reckon for about a couple of hours he was a bit embarrassed about it. He would have looked down and thought, ah, damn, it's still there. What's going on? And then after that, he just went, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going out. So people just see him walking down the street with his flagpole just hanging around.
Yeah.
Like, he's just. Oh, what'd be really embarrassing is if he went out knowing he's got this and he's thinking everyone's going to notice, but nobody noticed it.
Yeah.
Do you notice something different? New
No.
shoes? New watch, maybe?
Oh, you got
Oh,
your ear pierced.
you've done your makeup. No, well, you're looking a bit pale. All the blood's gone somewhere else. Yeah, that'd be quite kind of awkward for him, wouldn't it? Right, Sporka. So that was the story of the 17-year-old who
Yep.
went on holiday, I think, or he basically got dengue fever and ended up with an 18-hour erection. For anyone who doesn't know, an erection is, yeah, Sporka, you're one.
My one?
Yeah. Unless you want to tell people how an erection is where your pee stands on end and
Yep.
it's used for the
Okay.
reproductive system.
My next one is called Shopi papilloma virus.
Oh, I like papillomavirus. It's a good one.
Yeah, it's like Pavlova virus.
Is that the one where you do opera?
No, it's the one where you get the meringue and the cream and fruit. It's a pavlova. Anyway, it's it's called rabbit horns.
Yeah.
It's this virus affects rabbits and hares, causing thick horn-like growths from the top of their heads. So it's like a devil rabbit.
You know, I've generally heard of this one before. I watched this on TV.
It's where the whole thing came from for the mythical creatures of like the jackalope and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just find this one really cool. Like, it literally just grows a horn.
Yeah.
Which is incredible. I'm just seeing if I can find.
Kind of relates to your last one.
Because the weirdest thing about this actually is that rabbits can get that illness where they grow. She beat you to it. Rabbits can grow this horn.
Title your sex type.
Some rabbits have. So some rabbits have red eyes as well. So
Yes.
people at night just would have saw this red. They just would have saw this red-eyed devil rabbit just walking around.
Yep.
Because I'm just having a look. It causes cancerous lesions resembling horns. So that's what it is. It's cancer, and it's a bit like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. There's a reason his nose is red. I can tell you now, he don't face paint.
No, it's not.
And it's actually quite a bad disease because it can stop them from eating as well and stuff. But yeah, let's just make fun of that. Yay!
Yep. Yay!
You would shit your pants, wouldn't you, if you saw this rabbit coming towards you?
With
it's got horns and
red
red
eyes.
No. You'd reach. The vegetarians would reach for the shotgun. That's how scary it would be. Turn off your Give me a second. I don't know why moderation is on, but
no, not your moderation. Individual people have to turn their moderation off so as they can see censored.
Yeah, because I've got nothing in my.
Because that's what happened to me last time when I updated this app. It turned all the moderation and filters back on, and I had to turn them back off. Again.
Just to point out, there is a censorship on the Twitch chat. So if you start doing stuff that you shouldn't be doing, it will tell me. Yeah, I think you put something before and it censored it.
No,
out.
do you remember the one last week that I I typed something and it came up as censored, or somebody typed something and it came up as censored, and then I said that's censored, but it wasn't censored on the thing. It was just my.
Well, because I can see what Beans has wrote. It's just you that can't, so it's your moderation, Sporka, that needs changing, by the way.
Where? I don't know what you're talking about.
On the Twitch chat, where you put censored. Oh, no, it's Sponge that couldn't see it, so it's her moderation that needs changing.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's hers.
Yeah. Anyway, right, back to this devil rabbit thing with horns.
Yes.
it's a horny rabbit.
That's what I said. It's related to your last virus as well.
Yes, with the 18-hour erection. So basically, if a rabbit gets this virus, then goes out and gets bitten by a mosquito, that rabbit is in for a hell of a good time. Mrs. Rabbit she's not going to be able to hop afterwards.
No, no,
Do you
can't
reckon this
hop
is
with a
what?
limp.
Do you reckon this is what the Easter Bunny does?
Probably. That's how he
Is
gets
it?
the chocolate eggs.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure that he doesn't make chocolate eggs. We just think he does. In actual fact, he's just going for a shite in kids' baskets.
Yeah,
That's what's happening.
pretty much.
Mm,
So anyway, that's the Shopee papilloma virus that makes rabbits and hares grow horns on the roof on their head.
cool. Horny rabbits.
Yeah,
Um,
horny rabbits.
the red eyes aren't linked to the virus, by the way. There's just
No,
some rabbits
that's some
generally do
particular
have red eyes.
breeds of rabbits have
We used,
red
yeah,
eyes, isn't it?
no, it can be. There are some breeds that have both red eyes and normal ones. We used to have a mini, what's it called, mini lop. Yeah,
Okay.
mini lop rabbit. We loved that rabbit, and she had like reddish eyes. We
Hmm.
were told that she was a boy, and then we got there and we thought there's no dick here, and it turns out it was a girl rabbit. Uh, yeah,
Good. 2026 lambs. I think that rabbit can identify as whatever it likes.
maybe he. Yeah. Oh, that reminds me actually. Linked to it. Did you know, Sporka? Did you know there is a condition out there?
Hmm.
Condition linked to the dengue that I said earlier. I've got my note
Yeah.
underneath it, and I forgot to mention it earlier.
Hmm.
Called PGAD. Do you know what that
Oh,
stands
okay. Yeah.
for, Sporka?
No.
Persistent genital arousal syndrome, which basically means you can walk around and just constantly have an orgasm for no reason at all.
Cool. It's like sneezing 8 times. I nearly got to 8 earlier. I got 7.5.
We joke about it. It can be genuinely quite like it can debilitate you. You can just be you won't be able to leave the house because
Yeah.
you're just constantly going for it, which is probably
I've
more
heard of
awkward
it
if you're a
before.
male, but
Probably.
also it'd be a bit smelly if you was a female, actually, wouldn't it?
Hmm.
Yeah, you'd need to be in the shower all the time. In fact, both. You'd need to be in the shower all the time.
Yeah,
But
but then that's gonna make it worse, isn't it?
I don't know. Yeah, well, yeah,
Oh, I
I
need to clean
suppose.
down there, and then
Maybe you should put some pants on in the shower.
Yeah, no.
Saying that, it's basically really sensitive. Like you would need medical treatment for it. But yeah, that's an actual thing as well. Right. So this one, I quite like this one, and I've got to be careful because the name of it,
Okay.
and I'm a bit worried that the AI is going to censor this out actually in the actual thing because of the word. But this is Alice in Wonderland syndrome, Sporker.
Okay.
Alice in Wonderland syndrome. So
Hmm.
AIWS, and this is associated with the I'm going to say island bar virus.
What? Yeah, yeah. We
yeah,
can't mention the first name.
yeah. Can't
Yeah,
mention that name.
there's a
Um,
famous island, and there was
algorithms don't like it very much. Varicella
there's
and
files. There's files that people are looking related to this name.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah. A lot of it's redacted. And
Hmm.
influenza, this syndrome distorts body image. Patients may feel like their head or hands are growing or shrinking and experience hallucinations or a warped sense of time. So basically, when Lewis Carroll wrote Alice, it was Lewis Carroll, wasn't it? Lewis R. Carroll. When he wrote
Yes.
Alice in Wonderland, he just had this virus. Really, he was just tripping balls.
Maybe he had that virus, and that's what
That's
gave
what I
him the
said. He just
idea,
had this
or
virus and
knew
he was
somebody
tripping
who had
balls.
it,
Yeah, he
or
was
knew
tripping
somebody
balls.
called Alice that had it.
Oh, it could be because then she would have thought she was growing. I
Yeah, and he witnessed the entire thing, and then just went, "Oh, that's a pretty good idea for a story."
maybe it was the dean's daughter that had it.
Who?
That's okay. I need to explain that, don't I?
Yeah.
So basically, I'm pretty sure. I don't want to get his name wrong. Who when you're questioning something in your head,
Yeah.
Alice in Wonderland. I'm sure it is. Yeah, Lewis Carroll. I was right. I just questioned it in my head. So basically, when he was writing Alice in Wonderland, you're going to love this fact. What he actually used to do, and it's so creepy that no one talks about this. You have to look at stuff in the time's eye. You can't look at stuff from back then and think that's wrong now, so
Yeah.
therefore he's a wrong un. Because in the
Yeah.
time's eye, this was perfectly acceptable. We all find it wrong. It should never have been acceptable, but it was. That's just the history. You cannot change history. That's not how history works, unless, of course, like Doc Brown. Anyway, so basically, what he would do is he was at Oxford or Cambridge University.
Uh-huh.
Let me just make sure this is correct. What uni did Lewis Carroll teach at? Because he was a teacher. And it was Oxford University. So when he was there, the dean's children would often run around, run around the grounds,
Yeah.
and he would follow the dean's two children down the river into like this area of grassland, into the bush. And whilst he was there, he would always imagine them going into this wonderland of imagination, and
Okay.
that's where it was his imagination of where they were going that came up with Alice in Wonderland. But he also used to paint the Dean's children naked as well.
That's just bizarre.
Yeah, but that's what you did in high society in those times. Like I say,
Yeah,
it
but like
needs
they
to be.
always used to do that. Like if people used to paint like cherubs and stuff, which is just like naked babies with wings. It's just fucking
Yeah,
weird.
that is still creepy. Yeah, but still creepy as shit. But again, it's the times ice. Basically you would be mucked and thrown out of society if you didn't do this. Which again, it's
Yeah.
wrong. We know it's wrong. You should never do
I
this.
I rather wouldn't be part of society.
But yeah, that's where the story of Alice in Wonderland comes in. It was where he was imagining the children go when they went through like this shrubbery area in Oxford University.
Yeah.
Just for anyone wondering, just random information for you there. Uh, it see, when it was all right. Though, I know that some people do have body dysmorphia, where they
Yeah.
essentially
That's a different thing though.
it can lead into eating disorders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a very serious condition. Which, okay, that's fine. But then the minute it started going like the hands and feet growing and shrinking, you just think, okay, are you on something now? And then it says hallucinating or warped sense of time. Yep, you're tripping balls.
Yeah. Like
There's no
I
other.
believe after my operation last year, I believe I may have had that, or it could have been just like the side effects of the morphine.
Well, this is the virus that causes it.
Yeah, I know. But like, are you sure all the people who've been tested just weren't off their
Yeah,
nut on morphine?
yeah. That's what I'm thinking as well.
Same symptoms.
See, I was on morphine for 6 months and I never hallucinated.
Yeah, I did because I never really took any pain meds at all before that. Like
Neither did
I've
I.
never, not like I never even took like paracetamol or anything. Like
Yeah, neither do I. You bitch. What are you trying to say?
you're a drug addict, Lance. You
Well,
take
I
your
am now.
injections every day.
Yeah, I wouldn't call insulin painkillers, to be honest.
Still an injectable.
Yeah, I suppose it is. Yeah, but basically it's just tripping balls. But that's what this virus does. It causes you to. It's this warped sense of time. That's just an excuse.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, sorry, I'm late. I've got AIWS. Oh, sorry, I can't help it. But no, you've
And I
sat at
like the way
home.
they initialized this thing to make it sound more serious than it actually
Oh
is.
yeah, yeah. AIWS. What they've done is they've sat at home. They've had some special type of mushroom sandwich or mushroom chocolates,
Yeah,
and got out their tits, and then they were late for the meeting. It wasn't a
some
disease.
sort of brownie, something.
They're from space. Um, they got them from an island. They said make sure you give them to your children. And yeah, anyway,
Yeah,
right. So yeah, that was Alice in Wonderland syndrome, associated with beep
yeah, huh?
bar virus, and it causes you to feel like your head and hands are growing and shrinking, and experience hallucinations or a warped sense of time. I don't know if it's and or a warped sense of time, but it just says here or a warped sense of time. Right, shall we move on to Le Tech Le News?
Le Tech News. I
Le
need to
Techie Le
change
News.
my.
You need to get your articles up now, don't you?
I just need to change it to Discord. They're already up on Discord.
Oh yeah, because I sent you the screenshots earlier.
Yeah.
Uh, I also need to get the articles up before I can do it. Right, you can kick us off then.
Okay,
Since
I'm
you're ready to
going
go.
to go with where the hell's the? Oh yeah, the French. Hmm?
Ah, yeah, the French.
French. Huh.
What about the
So,
French?
so in France, um, they have confirmed a data breach at the government agency that manages citizens' IDs. So this company, let me just get the name right, is ANTS. It's Agence Nationale de Traités Sécurités.
Nationale de
Yeah,
Titres Securities.
yeah. So it's ANTS for short. So basically, they had data stolen. This is the agency that issues and manages citizens' identity documents, including national IDs, passports, immigration documents, and they confirmed this is from the middle of April that they had a data breach. So the data breach had full names, dates, and places of birth, mailing and email addresses, and phone numbers on an undisclosed number of citizens, which is great.
Well,
Really, really good job, everybody.
so what it did is it detected the attack on April the 15th.
Yeah.
It didn't specify how many people were affected. However, afterwards, it essentially
There
it's
was
the hacker that did it has basically come out and said, "I've got 19 million of your files here."
no, there's a news a computer news company called Bleeping Computers, and they had said that a hacker
Yeah,
advertised the stolen data for sale on a hacking forum,
yeah,
claiming to
with
have the
19 million.
database with 19 million records that corresponded with the type of information that was stolen.
Yeah, but the,
So
the thing is, when the thing is about that is, you don't know if it's more or less. You don't know if he's just selling parts of these files to different
yeah,
companies and stuff, and also he could be putting multiple databases together. You just don't know, and because that's
it
the
was
way
like a few years ago. The hospital system over here was hacked,
it happens all the time.
and
But
everybody's information was leaked, all their medical records.
one of the reasons we're not too happy about this is because right now we've got the whole thing. The King has recently come out as well and said we will be moving forward with digital IDs, and
Yeah.
that's exactly what this is. It's the digital IDs that the government keeps hold of, and everyone said, well, what about if it gets hacked? That's all our personal information. And they've gone, no, no, it's not going to happen. It's top-notch security. And then literally across the ocean, the next country along, yeah, it's been hacked. But at the
Yeah,
same
but
time,
that's not they're not they don't do digital IDs. That's not a digital ID that was hacked. It was the information that's contained in like your passport. That's all digitized already
that's
in
what
your
I was
country.
about to say. At the same time, driving license, passport, all of that stuff is part
Yeah.
of a digital ID.
It's
It's
all digitalized because you can renew all these things online now.
yeah.
So
So
all your data is stored digitally,
yeah. This is what I'm saying. So
including, might I add, your fucking credit card details as well, because you pay these people for your driving license and passport.
yeah. Same as if Facebook ever got hacked, that's a digital ID on there because that literally has your name as well as exactly where you are with your tracking location, your cookies and stuff, your Amazon account, your Disney accounts,
Yeah,
everything online, your Discord
everything.
account, your Twitch account, everything is essentially a digital ID because it's personal information related to you. That's your digital
I
ID.
was going to get actually related to this. I was going to get a Costa loyalty card one day because I got to Costa for coffee sometimes,
That's a
and you
digital
get
ID
like
too.
it's not only it's a digital ID. The amount of information that they wanted was obscene.
Yeah.
They wanted to know everything about you, like literally everything about you. If they sold or like got that data hacked from them, it would cause a huge issue.
When a company starts asking for your penis size, don't worry about that
Yeah,
company. Back off. Just get out of there, because
like
then you know they're going too
all
deep.
Costa really need to know is your name, your email address, and your preference for coffee.
Yes.
They don't need to know any other information.
Well, they want your email address for advertising purposes, because
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
what I
thing
said.
now.
So your email address, your name, and what your coffee preference is.
See, you need to just give everything now. It's the same if you buy Sky TV. Let's say if you took
Hmm.
out a Sky TV package, you're paying them a monthly subscription essentially
Yes.
for Sky. However, that is just a advertisement package. Same as if you buy a TV. If you buy just a general TV, what you're doing is buying something for them to advertise to. If you've got any form of smart TV, turn it on and have a look. Have a look around how many ads are on
Oh
every
yeah.
single page. It's just adverts. That's why
There's
TVs.
adverts on everything now.
Have you
Like even your
noticed?
Facebook feed now is like
Yeah,
you get maybe one
adverts.
thing from a page you follow, and the rest of it's just like advertisements.
Well, have you noticed that throughout the years, the last 20 years, let's say,
Uh-huh.
prices of everything has gone up. However, TVs have stayed the same.
Yeah.
It's
That's because
because
they
they're
make
adding
a
more adverts
shitload
to
of
it.
other things. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, um,
TVs. Samsung don't make TVs anymore. What they
no,
do is outsource the parts and put them together, and then you're
yeah, they
buying an
assemble it.
advertisement platform. And Toshiba don't make TVs. Most Toshiba TVs now are essentially Amazon TVs because of Amazon advertising. It's all just advertisements, and that's all digital IDs because once you start putting your account details into it, your stuff is stored on there. So
Yeah,
anyone could just hack into your Wi-Fi at home and have all of your stuff because it's a digital ID. It identifies you. It's your name, your address, your email, your bank statements, everything you've done, your receipts, because a lot of receipts are digital now. That's why security needs to be a huge thing right now because of this. And when the government gets hacked, the government is supposed to have top-notch security that should hire private people, private companies to make sure that the security is
yeah,
top-notch. It doesn't work.
yeah.
And
I knew a
to,
guy named Steve. He done all the internet in Ireland.
I remember that. Yeah, but to be honest, with everything that's wrong with me and with my bank balance, if somebody wants, again, I've said this on the podcast before, if somebody wants to take my digital ID,
Yeah.
good fucking luck to you. Because
If somebody wants to
if you could
sort
do
out
any
my
better than
debt,
me,
that's
you're
fine.
welcome to it. Because
If
I'm
somebody wants to
fucked.
sort out my debt, and like we'll just call it a day.
Yeah,
That'd be
yeah, yeah.
smashing,
She just
really.
want to. No, you crack on, pal. I've got no issue. Right. So, what was your story again?
So the French, it just says France. An organization called ANTS, and basically they got hacked and everybody's information got leaked.
Say everyone. There's more than 19 million people in France, surely.
Yeah,
What
probably.
is the population of France?
I'd say 150 million.
In France, there are 69.1 million.
I was
The
close.
country of love has 69 million people. Hmm. Anyway, right. So, this is a brilliant story. I love this story. I think it's really, really cool, and I love the science behind it. So, this is tech news, remember, not just PCs
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So, this one is Sunburn inspired a new way to store energy. So, this story, when chemistry professor Grace Han first visited Southern California from Boston some years ago, she noticed the difference, how her skin would tingle with the first signs of irritation just after a few hours outside. I'm getting this article from BBC again. It's written by Chris Baranuk. 8th of May 2026 is when this was. Well, it was accessed today on the 13th of May, but the 8th of May is
Yeah.
when it was written. So basically, she noticed all that sort of shit and then she moved to take a job at the University of California. She began wearing large brimmed hats and sunglasses, plenty of sun cream. Being a chemistry teacher, she knew what she was doing. She wasn't an idiot. And she was reading about DNA, photochemistry, and then she realised that DNA molecules in people's skin that get damaged by sunburn could help her. Those molecules change shape and, when irradiated by the sun, flexing into strained version of their original form. So what she's done is basically use that as a way to store energy, essentially a biological battery bank. Is what I'm going to say.
Yay.
The article is very long, so I was trying to
Yeah.
briefly go through it. Because
I
at the
read the
moment,
first paragraph.
well, I went a bit further. As you
Uh,
know, Sporka, there's a little event going on near the stuff that you put with your carrots, the Strait of Hummus.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. There's a little thing going on there, and we're all shitting our pants because of that. Oil
Yeah.
prices are going through the roof because that's essentially our form of energy. That's what we use as energy. Petrol is a form of
Mm-hmm.
energy, combustion, all that sort of stuff. So if we can find another way to store it from solar energy and stuff, it's going to make fossil fuels essentially redundant.
Yeah, but guess where the most amount of sun on the planet is, Lance?
Yes, but we get it from all over the place. And I'm
Yeah, I
going to
know,
say
but
the
like,
Antarctic.
no, it's not. Sun would be probably at its weakest at the Antarctic.
Well, I'd say you'd get the most amount of sun there because it's where like the least, yeah, where it's yeah. I'm sure that the Antarctic is one of the sunniest places on Earth. Where is the most amount of sun on Earth? I was going to say it's on the Earth.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Apparently, the most amount of sun on Earth is actually in the USA.
Yeah. Oh,
Hmm.
it's probably the biggest landmass at that line of latitude where the sun is closest to the Earth.
Yeah. So Egypt have two places. Chile has one, and USA has one, like the top five. The highest solar irradiance is Bolivia, and the most daylight during the summer hemisphere is the Antarctic.
Oh,
That's what I said. Like the Antarctic has a shit ton of sun because it's the
you said the
most amount of
Arctic.
daylight. Yeah, yeah,
You
the
said the
Arctic
Arctic.
and
That's
yeah.
literally where they coined the phrase the polar opposite from, Lance.
Okay, is that the An and the Antarctic?
The Arctic is the one near us. The Antarctic's
You
the
know
other
what
one.
I meant because they're both fucking snowy shit.
Yeah,
Uh,
but one is a landmass, the other's just a block of ice.
and they're both just big blocks of ice.
No, the Antarctic is an actual landmass underneath the ice.
So does the
That's why it's
Arctic.
a continent. The Arctic doesn't. It's only literally ice.
Um, I'm googling this shit.
Okay.
Yeah, they are in different locations, but they both. I'm sure they both have.
They don't. That's why there's no like expedition stations or research
Okay,
stations in the
yeah, the
Arctic.
Arctic is a
The
frozen
Arctic is
sea bordered
yeah,
by nations like Canada and shit.
yeah,
The Antarctic is a landmass covered in ice.
yeah. It's a
Fuck.
continent.
Yeah, right. So because I'm yeah. Anyway, back to the point, Sporka. Back to the fucking point. Um,
Yeah.
God, you've made me lose my train of thoughts now. So yeah, this could be a groundbreaking thing essentially. If we can find one of the biggest problems with say EVs and
Yeah.
mobile phones and anything that
Solar
essentially
power in
uses
general.
and anything that uses a battery is the storage of that energy and then converting that energy to do from the battery to do what you want it to do. If you think about your phone, you convert your energy from the chemical energy that's inside the battery, and then it converts to the say the light energy to power
Hmm.
your screen, which is actually heat energy because lights are heat, not right. But yeah, light's just a byproduct. But now we're getting a bit too nerdy. It's that conversion, and that conversion is very very poor and shit like that. So if you can find a better way to store it from solar energy and stuff, the conversion is not as important because you can find a way to essentially harness that solar energy and store it, which would be really cool. Professor Brian Cox does on one of his documentaries, which
Of course
is
he does.
he does a thing where he basically says how much a single square meter of sun could essentially power like a small city if you were to harness 100% of it,
Yeah.
which is incredible. We can't do that. We just don't have the technology. Um, but but finding a way to store that energy would also be the problem, and that's where this comes in. That it's just going to make batteries even better because you could put more energy into the battery.
Yeah, like
Your
that's the
phones
biggest
would last
problem with
longer.
like renew. That's the biggest problem with renewable energy at the moment is that there's
Yeah,
no way to store the energy. It has to be used straight away. Like
well, you could still put it into a battery. It's just a conversion rate between the solar panels
yeah,
to
and
the
it's
battery itself.
gigantically expensive to
Yeah,
create that amount of batteries. Like
yeah, with the lithium and the
for the
iron and
yeah,
shit,
but
lithium ion. Yeah.
for the quantity of power that you're talking about, like it's unfeasible to create batteries for that. Like
Yeah. We're still a long way off it, but essentially they're using ultraviolet lights apparently as well. But yeah, that is the story that sunburn. So because a scientist got sunburnt, she thought of a way to hard to store energy, essentially
yep.
using the molecular degradation. But yeah, go on, Sporka. Last story.
Last story is about smart glasses, Downs.
Smart glasses. Well, they're not
Smart
that smart.
glasses. They are a bit. So they're people are saying that they're an invasion of privacy,
We have
and
spoken about this before on the podcast.
Meta's AI glasses are selling better than they ever have been. So there you go.
So who's saying they're invasion of privacy then?
Mental
Obviously, the
people,
people.
really. Yeah,
It, it,
like
it, it's not the glasses themselves aren't the invasion of privacy.
it's the
It,
people who are
yeah,
using the glasses are the people invading people's privacy. And if the glasses didn't exist, they'd be using something else. So
because you can literally be recorded doing anything. But
So
and you
apparently they
meant
give examples of like women leaving the beach, going into a shop, or simply standing outside are now being approached by men, usually wearing Meta's Ray-Bans, the company's smart or eyeglasses, often in order to film the women's responses to casual questions or pick-up lines without their knowledge or consent.
Now you see the problem I've got with this, and I've mentioned before, I really like the idea of smart glasses, having your maps and
Yeah.
stuff on your face just there and then. Yeah, I really like the idea of them. The problem I've got with them is the way that Facebook and stuff handles that information. So at the moment, a lot of stuff is being used for AI training,
Uh-huh.
and the fact that Meta as a company, they are quite they can afford to have a contract with Google. And the reason I say this is when Google make your maps and stuff, someone doesn't sit there throughout the entire map and blur out every single individual face. It's done automatically.
Yeah.
So they've got software that can detect humanoid faces and they blur it out. Same as license plates, they blur it out and stuff. So why can't Meta do that to any recordings that you make with your glasses?
I don't know.
Surely they can have the software at their data centers and stuff that would just, if you record a human face, it'll just blur it out.
Because then it would have to apply to everything,
Yes.
not just Meta's glasses. It would apply to somebody like uploading a picture of like somebody saying happy birthday to somebody else. The face will be blurred out.
Yeah.
Or I've got a better idea. So women leaving the beach, going into a shop, or simply standing outside are now being approached by men, usually wearing Meta's Ray-Bans, and asked questions to film their responses to casual questions or pickup lines. You know, when I was growing up, right? Now, it's not that long ago. My parents taught me not to talk to strangers. I think we should
Yes.
bring that back. Stop
Yeah.
talking to people on the street just randomly giving out your information. That's just fucking
Yeah, yeah,
lunacy.
yeah. Oh, where do you live? Oh, this is my address.
Yeah,
Just don't
don't
fucking
be
tell him.
mental. Stop
But
talking to people.
yeah, 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 yeah. Just don't be stupid. Yeah, stranger
And
danger.
also, why is it always like women leaving the beach and
I was
women
about
going
to
into a
say this. I'm
shop?
not happy about
Like
this.
it do women not do this to men as well? No. I know it
Yes,
might be more prevalent that men do it to women, but it's still not an exclusive thing.
it's
And
not even that.
I wasn't the one who voted for equal rights either. So
It's
there you
more
go.
reported. Women report it more than what men do because, God, this is where we go into men's mental health. Stuff happens to men as well. Just to point out,
Yeah.
men are still human. We still have the chemical imbalances in our brain for depression and stuff. However, as a child, men are taught not to cry. Whether it's
Yep.
intentional or whether it's a sociological thing, men are taught not to cry. We're taught to deal with our problems and hold it in. If you get a couple talking to each other, men in general are more tired than a woman. I'm saying in general, this isn't in every case. There are cases where it can be completely the opposite. But because if a man talks about his feelings, he's called weak. If a man says how he's upset, he's told to get over it. If a man basically says he's not okay, he's told to toughen up. If a woman says any of those type of things, then the man is going to be there to support her regardless and to bring her through it. The man doesn't tell the woman to toughen up. The man doesn't tell the woman to get over it. The man doesn't tell the woman that they're weak. They're there to support her. It never seems to be the other way around. That's why men get so mentally exhausted all the time because they have no outlet. They cannot
Yep.
talk to anyone. So if you are a male and you are listening to this, there are people you can talk to. I'm not saying this is in every situation. We're fucking stop me. Right, I'm not saying this is in every situation. There are some instances where women do generally get abusive, do get abused, and it's the same both ways. Both males and females are both human. But yes, when the article says women are being approached by men, it's very, very feasible that it's the other way around as well. Because there are court cases where women have done stuff to. In fact, I sent one to you just the other week,
Did you?
about how the a man basically got jumped on by I think it was three separate women.
Yeah. Lucky bastard. Go on.
yeah, it can quite easily be the other way
Um,
around.
it was
Back to
actually today when I was doing my presentation was actually a perfect example of it as well. I was talking to a couple of the nurses afterwards, and they were saying that like it's weird to see the difference between men making a presentation and women making a presentation. That all the men's presentations that were there today, they were all like very matter of fact, gave all the details and everything. There wasn't a huge amount of emotion in it.
mm,
Whereas the women always tried to make it more relatable, and they were always talking about like their emotional cycles of change and everything during their illness. And it was when you look back at it, like it does, you can see it clear as
yeah,
day.
it's because we men in general, again I say in general, there are some males that are very emotionally out there, and fair enough to them if they are. That's just the way you are. Like crack on.
Yeah,
Men throughout history have been hunter gatherers. We men have been the hunters. We were taught go out there, kill that, bring it back for the family to eat, look after everyone. We then see emotions as a burden. If we burden other people with emotions, we're not protecting the family. We're not essentially doing what we're supposed to be doing, and that's gone on for hundred thousands of years, and that's just the way we've evolved. So now men just don't have that sort of emotional outreach. We just don't show it as much. That's just
yeah.
it's not right.
Also,
Like there are loads of mental illnesses that men get that women. In fact, all of them. All, men get all mental illnesses that women can
yeah,
get as well, believe it or not. But go on, last point, and then we have to end the podcast.
yeah. So just in the article, there's like a couple of pictures in the article, and about halfway down, there's a guy wearing the glasses. And there's just nobody. He's not approaching anybody, and people are going to answer to like the pickup lines. I'm sorry, but no.
Yeah, I just want to Google something really quickly through because I know in my experience I know what it is, but uh, I'll tell you what it is in a second. So if you just want to keep on with your stories about how men are completely different in alien species to women.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we are like that's obviously like completely like we. There's no chivalry anymore either.
Yeah, we don't really do jousting and murdering each other for the
No,
love of a woman anymore.
I just like to do it in general, not for the love of a woman. Just like, yeah, fuck you. No, fuck you.
Uh,
What are you looking up?
I'm going to tell you in a second.
Yeah, so
Right.
you're the one who wanted to wrap
So
this
this is
podcast
this
up.
is I've just because yeah I wanted to make sure. So women are more
Yes.
likely to be discharged from a mental health institution in the first year than men. Men are more likely to remain institutionalized for mental health disorders for long-term care compared to women
Hmm.
because men don't give their emotions out. So when someone's trying to help you and they need you to tell them how you feel, men don't do it, whereas women do. So it's easier to help. Well, it's not easier to help women, but it's a better starting point. It gives better base
Yeah.
to go with. So that's what I was looking up, and it's the same in my experience as well of working in mental health. I found men tend to be institutionalized for a much shorter time than when a much longer time when compared to females. And being institutionalized myself, I found that a lot of females came and went in the time that myself and a couple of other males were remaining in hospital for the period of time that we did remain in there. But yeah, that's just I literally googled the facts. If anyone wants to Google that as well, how long are men institutionalized in comparison to females? That's what I googled, and it showed me the articles in front of me. Anyway, right. Thank you very much for listening. For everyone who has been listening, will watch, possibly listen, watch Mama's
Yeah.
tapes as our chatters randomly came up with. Remember to
Listen to the
check out our
podcast on
other
Sunday
channels,
when it's
which
released.
I'm literally scrolling up to find our other channels. So I think I'm going to have to remember these because I think it's got rid of the thing now, which is a bit annoying because I wanted to know what the Discord link was. Right. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's gone.
thanks for listening, everybody. But remember to check out our other channels. So we've got the Facebook, the Discord at discord.gg/something,
Yeah,
TikTok,
go.
Twitch. Uh, we've got the Blue Sky, we've got the YouTube. Remember that you can listen to this podcast on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, and on YouTube. They will be released on the Sundays. And then throughout the week we do little shorts. Remember to leave a little comment, a little thumbs up would be nice. Just stick your thumb up, sport the back end of
Yep.
Sporka. Um, and we hope you've enjoyed this educational podcast. I've been
It was
Loanzism.
fun. I've been Sporka. Good day, evening, night, everybody.